My name is Jonathan Parks, and welcome to Jonathan's Nature Crafts. I must inform you that I do not live in this house by myself, but live here with other people. Sometimes other members of the household may have to walk through areas where I might be recording with other family members on the phone. If you hear any noise like that, please feel free to disregard. We are doing our best to get noise-canceling equipment, which may at least keep you from hearing exactly what is being said. Thank you for considering. Well, as of today, I'd kind of like to mention that probably would be back on here doing more instructional videos if I wasn't going through all the emotional stress I was. It wasn't that many days ago I uploaded a video where I just kind of carved on these while I talked randomly and did things like, just the carving I could do, and got around to carving the tails this morning while I wasn't on camera. But there's just a lot to say right now, and I'd say I probably would like to be back on here doing another instructional video, and probably would be doing more instruction if I wasn't dealing with as much as I am emotionally right now. But I tell y'all that I came home from work yesterday afternoon and would say I slept practically from about early afternoon to early evening, and probably got up and did a little bit, then went back to bed and went back to sleep. I tell y'all that there are things I think I'm kind of seeming to manage well, and kind of think they're going just fine, and don't really think that I have diabetes now, even though I'd say that there had kind of been the time when, there was just all this stuff where my sugar was at pre-diabetic level. And yesterday there was just a lot of work to do at work, and I heard some stuff about some little things that may have happened before I came in, but I'd say that didn't concern me because I wasn't really there to see it or anything. It was all manageable. But I even hear today that we're just having more people retiring this year, and we'll more than likely have other staff come along next year, and we don't know what every day is going to bring, but we do know that we've only got about 3 more weeks of work left. The kids have a couple days less than that, but we have extra days. We just come back to work. So for all how that goes, I'd say it's being managed. And then I kind of got up this morning and talked with my dad a little bit, and found out that my great uncle, he was the brother of my mom's dad, who's been dead over 30 years now. So that's kind of, I'd say, been quite a long time. And the thing is that since I didn't hear about it till today, I didn't prepare to take any trips. But my parents kind of took the trip out to Georgetown, which is close to Sadieville, and Sadieville was where he lived. But I heard that I saw the obituary today after I heard about it and looked it up online, and saw that he actually died at the Central Baptist Hospital here in Lexington, which is actually a place where years ago I used to work. About 20 years ago that was. I tell you, it's been such a long time, but I seem to kind of remember things such a long, far way back. And oh, how I say little love in our work comes a long way. But I think I also kind of figured a little something out, that Guanacoste was actually a lot darker than this, even though I said that was what I suspected it was carved from. But now that I come to think of it, it actually it's more like mahogany. So That's what I'm going to write underneath here. The fact that I wanted to talk to you all about what was going on was the main reason I opened this video and decided while I was putting these last touches on these chocolate lab retrievers, I'd come on just to kind of talk about that and how it's all just been going, and the way I've just kind of had to manage what's been in my life, rough days, rough times, all the things in life that come and go our way. There's this one young girl at work, I tell you, we don't talk to each other much, and there's probably just a lot of reasons in my life as to why that is, but she was nice enough today to ask me whether I was feeling any better, and told her that I was, and I say that there's going to be the things in life that will kind of be of different meaning to us at different times, and I say that there comes times when relatives get old and they die. So I have one great aunt among them who is the last living sibling among them. Both of my grandmothers and my other grandfather were the last living siblings among their bunches, but all of my grandparents are now passed away, so that's kind of a little bit of a different thing in itself. And for all I've dealt in life, I'd say that there comes times when you feel like you don't gain much from growing older, but I was also talking to somebody years ago who was already, like I'd say, in his 60s, and he was at the visitation for his 90-something-year-old grandfather, for his 90-something-year-old father, telling me about how you don't gain much from getting old. I was only 26 at the time, but heard all about how wisdom is as you grow older, and I said, well, you get wisdom, don't you? He said, well, that's about the only thing you get from it. I'd say that that's just one of the things in life where we have to try so much, do so much, learn so much from our experiences. There might be a lot of things in all our lives we may never know, but there's always going to be little realities we have to accept. I'd say it was kind of like, I can't remember whether it was last night or this morning or during the little while I was woke up from my nap yesterday. I was talking to my mom because she was kind of wanting to go into my bedroom to see something, and I don't remember what it was, but she's known for a while that I've had some fur pelts of animals on my wall in my room, and one thing she didn't know already was certain pieces of taxidermy I had that are fairly big. I told her the two biggest pieces I had in there were a full head of a deer and a full body of a jackal. But she said, oh my. She didn't think she could go in there after all, but would probably kind of take a peek into the room so she wouldn't have to see that stuff. She said, but as long as it's down there where I don't have to look at it, it's fine. And I tell you that these days, I even saw recently a little chamois head on Etsy that I wanted. If you don't know what a chamois is, it is spelled Chamois, and it is something similar to a mountain goat, but not exactly. It is actually what you would probably say is what they call a goat hyphen antelope. Like, probably something kind of in between a goat and an antelope, but probably not exactly either one. And for all you know, maybe they just get their names because they are antelopes with big horns like goats, with little beards like goats, and because they live in the mountains like ibexes and most wild goats do. From what I researched on Wikipedia, it seemed like there was only one type of wild goat other than the ibex that existed, and I kind of forget what its name was, but other than that, there were 3 different breeds of ibex that I saw on there. I've even seen some ibex heads on Etsy that were of taxidermy, but they were just a whole lot more expensive than I wanted to pay. And I tell you all that this one I found of a chamois, it just happened to be so old and vintage. That was the reason why it was so cheap. Probably wasn't in the best shape of anything, because they kind of warn you to look at the listing and to read about it, and it did kind of say a little bit about probably a few defects it had just from aging. So that was kind of what I saw. They talked about a few things it would be good for, and I mean, the thing of it is, I already have just so much collectible stuff in my room, and even a lot of taxidermies, and like a little head of a boar and a piece of a monkey and 2 iguanas, one American one and one Mexican one, that are among the things I have. So that's kind of just, I'd say, the things I have there and what they are. And I mean, I was able to get them for fairly cheap, and some of these sellers, they even gave me a discount on it. So since they gave me little discount codes for like 10% off or 20% off or 25% off, whatever it was just something I was simply able to buy for that reason. And I had probably even gotten a code for something more recently as well that I saw and liked, but don't really think I'm going to spend that, because it's kind of a time when I'm sort of saving in a little able account for my retirement too. You see, we finally got the little slogan tags on these little chocolate lab retrievers, and they'll be ready to go into oil soon. And don't know whether you've seen already that certain other Viking that I did, but this is another Viking I've been working on. It's a little different. The other one had red hair and beard. This one has a brown hair and beard. For this one, I've kind of given it a gray hat to kind of stand out from the brown hair, which if otherwise the other one had a black hat and red hair. And of course, we got these 2 little horns in the side, and there was just a little bit of something about how the hat came off that I decided to trim it up a little bit and kind of make it a little more shaped like this, maybe look a little more the shape that a gray Viking hat looks like. But I'd say that that one is going to have its eyes painted light brown, as it had its beard painted dark brown. And there's just probably little other works to do. Probably about time today I get the Cocker Spaniel out of the oil, because I just put it in there recently to kind of get it ready for this girl who wants to buy it. She's become a good friend to me on social media since meeting her at a show, and I'd say a lot has really just gone well with that. And there's just so much to say over time, and so much to know and to do, and I'd like to share so much more given the chance. Don't know how much time we'll have, but I've got to get over my emotional state before I can really be able to do another instructional video and show you much. And I'll be getting back around to carving those St. Nicholas figures pretty soon. Maybe even get around to doing a few Alpine St. Nics. So that's just what I have to say today. You all know most of the routine as far as how most of this goes, and these are getting ready to go in some oil soon. Be an extra little piece of a dog that I'll have to put out at my show. Have so much to say and share. Thank you all for coming on and watching. I just would like to say that I've just got 1 more subscriber. That's a great thing, and hope you all will always stay in touch, and God bless. Thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video. And if you haven't already, please subscribe to this channel. I hope to see you in the next video. Stay tuned.